Okay, so literally at this point, I'm convinced there are two options. It is either sitting somewhere right in front of me, or, and I'm completely blind, or I have somehow yeeted it into the ethereal plane.
So I'll be honest, when you sent that picture with the circle around the spot where
I had no
the
idea what I
mouse
was
would
looking
be.
at.
What's that?
I had no idea what I was looking at.
Well, so I saw the message before I saw the picture about you missing your mouse. So I put two and two together. But then looking at the picture, I didn't realize you had two mouses. So I was just like, "There's a mouse right there."
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I have two mice because I run two machines. But
Yeah.
I'm watching YouTube videos on my streaming rig, the one that sits on the left side of my desk. I get up to go use the bathroom. I come back and my mouse is gone.
Important question: who were you watching?
I was watching Gray Still Plays.
Did you ask them?
No, I didn't. But honestly, given that he is from Florida and he honestly radiates Florida man energy, it would not surprise me. But no, I have, and like it's just like a regular, nothing too special about it, just small, red Logitech wireless mouse. So it is entirely possible, and what I think happened was I just absentmindedly walked off with it, like got up from my desk while I was still holding it, set it down somewhere, and now for the life of me, I have no idea where it is. Like my roommate and I both, like we searched all over looking for where it could be, and it's just, I have no idea where it is. So I'm having to use the mouse from my gaming rig right now to run the podcast.
So forgive me. I know I have not really seen the list of topics. Oh, Joel's gone.
Oh, did we lose? Uh-oh. I'll post them in the live chat. Give me 1 second here.
Well, I was gonna say I have something I want to bring up, though. I wish Joel were back with us.
I just got a message. His router crashed, so he'll be back in a minute.
I guess so. I'll hold off on what I wanted to talk about then.
Alrighty.
I want more people here for that.
But
mouse is gone.
My wireless mouse has just disappeared. I have no idea where in the world it could be. But let me go ahead and move, or let me go ahead and post what we had in the live chat. This is just kind of what I pulled from MSN. Hey, welcome back.
Beck.
So yeah, mouse gone.
I'm not even that really upset about losing that particular mouse. Like, there's nothing really special about it.
It should be right there.
It should be right here, and I cannot fucking find it. I cannot find it for the life of me. I've searched everywhere. I've torn my bedroom apart. I've checked in the bathroom. I've checked in the kitchen, which are the only other two places I've been.
And you've checked under the desk. Have you checked behind your bed? That it probably fell someplace obscure.
Do you have a pair of shoes near your desk?
Near my desk? No.
Yes. Okay.
But no, like I got down on all fours, like crawled under my desk, like looked behind both PC towers, everything. It's like I don't even know at this point. Like, and it's
Well,
really not worth getting worked up over now. It's like because we're live. I have a working mouse, so it's the LAN Party podcast. Welcome to episode 9, the last official episode of 2020. Fuck 2020, by the way. It has been it's been a year, to
let me tell
say
you,
the very
Perry, I
least.
have had a day.
I have had a day for 365 days.
Only for about 300 of those days, to be fair. But yeah,
Okay.
it's been a
I mean,
days and days.
it all like became what we know as in March, sure, but January and February were also just weird months.
Oh, January and February were great to me, and
Oh,
then it just
sure.
went downhill. But
But I
yeah.
mean, it opened up with like if you remember, like that first week of January was everybody freaking out about World War III.
Oh yeah, good times.
So
But at least we could go to the movies.
you want to talk about video games?
I
Yeah,
do
well, hey, video
actually.
game movies. Sonic the Hedgehog is going to win the Oscar for Best Film.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Honestly, not a bad film.
No, seriously. I have said every time that movie was better than it had any right to be. It
Yes,
was
it was.
a it wasn't revolutionary, but it was darn fun. Like that's something that if like have little cousins that come over the holidays that like I would totally throw on that movie and we'd have a good time. Just and it's set up what seems to want to be a franchise, and I
Mhm.
know that from the box office results that it is getting a sequel at the very least, and
Yeah,
we'll see when that
supports
happens.
it.
But yeah, best Jim Carrey has been in years.
No kidding. Speaking of, Mary and I just watched the How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the Jim Carrey
Nice.
one last night. Love that movie. Which is funny because when it was first coming out and there were
It
trailers for it, I was like
it was
terrified.
oh yeah, no, just like I remember that when I was little and like saw the first poster for it, just it it creeped me out. It I love the original animated special. It is one of my favorite Christmas specials of all time. Uh, but just it it threw Jim Carrey into almost like as close to the uncanny valley as you can get without actually having CG involved.
I can see that.
Sure. Well, have you seen the video of Jim Carrey? He's like doing an interview and he's talking about like somebody like a kid meeting Jim Carrey and they were like saying, he plays the Grinch and he just leans down to the kid and does like the
Oh
Grinch
God.
smile. And he does that there on camera in the interview. And he says that the parent like kind of recoils going, "Oh, I thought that was makeup."
Jim Carrey is without a doubt one of the best physical and facial actors of our time.
Yeah. Welcome to the Jim Carrey podcast.
Hey, I don't mind that.
Hey, no complaints here. Although, Cam, I know you said you had something you wanted to bring to the table. So,
I do.
do we
I
want to go ahead and
do.
open
By
with
the way,
that?
this is Cam. I don't think you've ever been on the
I
podcast before.
have
He has.
one.
Oh wait, yes, I'm sorry. It's been a while.
Yeah, it was an earlier episode, and then I haven't been able to come back since because I
Well,
usually work in
welcome
the
back.
mornings. But today was my last day of work for the year.
Yay!
Took the rest of the year off. And of course, even if I didn't, tomorrow's Christmas, and I would have had the day off anyway. So, but I had sort of a transition to this, but we're kind of past that now. I was gonna say, Taylor, your mouse is missing. It sounds like you've been sabotaged. You may have an imposter among you.
Emergency meeting.
Yeah.
Dude.
No, so I I stumbled across this during either the Extra Life stream or the Halloween stream, and I wanted to bring this up again especially now because I found more than I did before. Um, Among Us is a very important game for this year, despite the fact that it came out in 2018. Like it hit it huge in the later half of this year and has become sort of one of the defining like things somebody will think about when they think about 2020.
Yeah.
Obviously, not the top of the list. There's something else for that, but you know,
When it comes to gaming, it
when
is
it comes
going
to
to be
gaming,
near the top
it
of the
is one
list.
of the
That just
definitive games of this year for sure. And with that notoriety comes knockoffs.
now
So
I know there
Steam,
was like a VR knockoff that someone had
there's
made.
there is a VR chat map where you can play Among Us in VR, and that's like it's really cool looking. Like it's really well set up, and it just adds a whole other level to a game like Among Us because then you can actually see like short of playing in the same room with somebody or seeing them on a webcam, you can actually see like physical cues if somebody is lying or telling the truth, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's really cool. Among Us in VR, cool. These though, I only found one before when I first stumbled across these, but oh boy, these some of these are fun. So this is how do I link something from Steam?
Wait,
Oh, how
this is on Steam that you can play?
Yeah, yeah. You want to pull up your Steam and actually this is the one I need to do last
Well, I
because
mean,
that one's this
during
is the
their
best one.
Indie World announcements, it was this past week or last week, Nintendo
Oh yeah,
unveiled
Among Us is
from a
coming to
third
the
party.
Switch.
It's basically Among Us visual novel, and the thing is, I I need to go and look into this game's development to see when it was started. That just generally speaking, I highly doubt that someone could throw together a game that is as good looking as that game was between, June and now. So it is going to be inevitably compared to Among Us because it is the thing right now if you are set in space and have the entire plot of it is that you're in space and that there's an alien that has infiltrated the crew. So it's basically Among Us, the visual novel, not dating sim. Uh, yeah. So hopefully they'll be able to ride the Among Us coattails.
Yeah. So first off, there's Killer Inside Us.
This isn't subtle at all.
Oh no, none of these are. Uh, Game is available to play online with your friends, 4 to 10 people. Inside the station, there are killers and crewmates. The job of the killers is to kill the crewmates that don't get caught. They also can sabotage the station by disturbing the work of the space station.
You don't say.
It looks very like Minecraft Roblox style of like that,
So
voxel.
what's its killer app? What's the difference here? Why would someone ever play this over Among Us?
Uh, that well, it is third person view in 3D. Looks like you can
Okay.
jump. That's a thing. There's a screenshot of a bunch of people stacked on top of each other. So, you know,
Yeah, no. So
hijinks.
the thing here is that it's first person 3D.
Yeah, well, a lot of these are like the thing that makes it stand out from Among Us is that it's 3D now. Um, Play with one 4 to 10 player online, but beware as one or more random players among the crew are imposters bent on killing everyone. Those words were all bolded. About game. Imagine being an astronaut. I'm gonna let you guys take a moment to imagine.
I'm imagining being an
Imagine being
astronaut.
Imagine being an astronaut. You have been sent with a group. Oh, imagine being an astronaut. You have been sent with a group of people
Nice.
into
I
the
saw
space.
that.
I love it. I
When,
love it when knockoffs can't even, hit quality bar.
when you finally reach the space station, you are told to take care of the station. Unfortunately, not everyone have good intentions.
Not everyone have good intentions. Oh,
No, not
do
everyone.
we have
That's
a
2020 in a nutshell.
Good grief.
has this company released any other games before?
This is sort. The developer is Lance Games, and publisher, franchise, and developer, like co-developer, is SourceByte SPZO.O. Dot.
Well then,
Like, I don't know
can you see
what's
if they've
going on
done
with that
anything
one.
else?
Lance
I forget if
Games.
you can like click on that and then see anything else that they have on Steam.
Lance Games actually does have a few games.
Are they also knockoffs?
Supfly Delivery Simulator. Boxy? What is this game? BOCCE. I feel like I've seen that
Bocce.
word before. Bocce? Is that Bocce? Bocce VR Simulator. Royal Rescue SRPG.
SRPG?
Ti Time for Quest. I don't want to go down this rabbit hole. I want to just
Yeah, okay.
let me go back to about game and learn about this group of people. Unfortunately, not everyone have good intentions. It occurs that there is a killer inside the station. Your job is to find out who the killer is while taking care of the station. I don't know if you've caught on yet. You have to take care of the station. But watch out, the killer can come out of nowhere when you won't be prepared. You shouldn't look for friends at the station. You don't know who the betrayer is. When you'll finally find out the killer, don't be kind to him. Unconscionably kick him out of the station and save as many living
Wow, that's
souls
a
as
word.
possible. There's no end to that sentence. There's no punctuation. I- If
Like,
you are an imposter, kill the crew to win the game. No, I'm sorry. My brain corrected that. If you are an imposter, kill the crew to win game.
I get the feeling that whoever wrote this, English is not their first language.
No. No, and the thing is, on some of these, it's like it's not technically wrong, but it's not worded in a way like a person would talk.
It
Yeah,
it reeks of Google Translate,
Uh,
honestly.
fe- features, customization, lots of game options. Quickly
that's
find
good. It's always good to have lots of game
quickly
options.
find a game online. In-game text chat, in-game voice chat. Those are the bullet points for features for Killer Inside Us.
Where's that meme? Can I copy your homework? Yeah, but don't make it obvious.
Right. Now, there's another one, and here's the thing. This, I think, is the one I'd seen before, but it's like they've cleaned up their descriptions here. So like it's better better grammar and such. Uh and yeah, so this one looks a lot better than it did when I first found it, I think. It's a very like 3D CG. It does look very interesting. Like it looks like these environments and these screenshots are done by somebody competent, but I can't help but think that maybe they're like, you know, freely sourced from some engine or something, you know? Like I just
I
found
get it,
out
yeah.
the game House Party, that like Achievement Hunter has done let's play videos in, and
Yeah.
the Game Grumps are famous for having not only a series of videos in but also being in the game.
I didn't know they were
Um
in the game.
yeah, there's DLC now and they're part of it.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But the house that game takes place in, there's another game the Game Grumps just recently played that uses that same house. So it's I guess just a
An
free to
open
use
source house
environment. Yeah.
environment. Yeah.
Yeah. So like that's what these screenshots look like. Like they look like a competent environment for a game, but they look like they're from
That if this
something
is a
else.
free source environment, that these are the screenshots that are used to advertise this environment that they have then plugged into their game.
Yeah, that's really what it's looking like. But you've got these 3D model colored spacesuits, human proportioned characters.
Ooh.
Those are the
Why
models of
is it
this
that
one.
human proportion in CG always just looks unnatural?
I don't know. So this is Killer infected one of us. Killer colon infected one of us. That is the name of this one. The game takes place The game takes place in 2040. From the headquarters of Arctic comes a statement about finding the new organisms. Never
Ooh,
mind, it's
boy,
still bad.
we're with English as a second language again. Like, there's
I'm
nothing
saving the
wrong if
best
English
one for
isn't your
last
first
though.
language, but
Oh
if you're
my
going to
god.
release a game in an English market, it's generally good practice to have someone whose first language is English write your marketing copy. Just, little tip, like, no, nothing against the developers.
Nope.
Like, that's great. This is some, I went to business school, so I feel very confident in suggesting to any developers out there who might not have English as their first language, if you're going to release in an English market, have someone who speaks English as a first language write your game descriptions.
So, comes a statement about finding the new organisms. You and your team are going to a research exposition to study the unknown organisms. The research gets the research gets out of control, and one or even more people are infected with a new unknown deadly virus, Virus 40. The virus clouds people's judgments and forces them to infect the others with a deadly virus in order to ruin the expedition.
Oh, wait a minute, no,
It's
so
that
this is different. This is zombies then.
Yeah, kind of. But it's that sort of wording in a sentence that, like, okay, what you said is grammatically correct, but it's like the repeating of certain words
Yeah.
is sort of what tips me off
But
to
but but also
like,
here, like, this is a unlike the previous one, this is a change to the core mechanic that if the translation here is accurate, it suggests that the imposters, so to speak,
and the infected.
spread, and that e when that you don't kill, you change teams. So that is an inherently different uh, power dynamic, and frankly, it feels like it's weighted too much to the team
Yeah,
because it,
this one does have a very different, it sounds like a different game
yeah, because if
to
that's
it.
the case, then you can't really do the like discuss and vote them out type thing. That this sounds like
Nah.
it's all
It's just
combat
that
based.
it
Yeah.
is very clearly, I mean, with the by the name and
Yeah,
by the
but
colored
it's trying
spacesuit
to actively ride the
characters.
coattails that they're putting really blatant search terms in here to make sure that when someone is
Yeah.
searching for Among Us, that hopefully they will be the second or third thing listed and catch people's eyes, which
I
is
yeah, they're
possibly
not
how it got your eyes, so it worked.
it's not that far down the list. Let me just go over this list of features before I move on to the next one. And the next one will be my last one. Features, voice and text chat, exciting quests, bonus system. That's all that says. Secret locations. Nice soundtrack.
Only nice?
It's just nice.
Only nice. Well,
Anonymous voting, beautiful visuals. The soundtrack is nice. The visuals though, oof,
beautiful.
beautiful.
Two things real
This
quick. First of all, RJ, thank you for the host. Appreciate it. And
hey,
David saying a couple things. Like the one that you're describing now, Cam, he said it sounds a lot like Gmod Trouble in Terrorist Town zombies.
yeah, like when somebody gets the zombies role in Trouble in Terrorist Town.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then also
Um,
when it as far as like the translation issues are going, he said just use 4 kids to localize everything.
Hey,
so this
four
is
kids.
this is from Dream Team Games. They're the developer and publisher. They do not have any other works.
I think we were about to have a Joel rant there.
It's like, yeah, that I have my 4 kids rant. I will tell that another day because it is not relevant enough to what we're discussing.
And then this one is beautiful. This last one.
Like the visuals of the last game?
No. Yes, but no. Uh, this is called Imposter Inside Us. Please, if you can, look it up. If you've got Steam open,
I
please.
think I've seen this one.
I can't open Steam right now because it's trying to update games when I do, and I'm dropping frames
well,
on the
I could
stream.
screen share. I could screen share, couldn't I?
Yes.
Yes, you could.
Yeah, please let me do that. So here we have Imposter Inside Us.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen this. You might have shown it to me.
This maybe this is the one I'd seen, but I swear I saw the last one before. Imposter Inside Us. Imposter Inside Us is a
Deaf
type
people.
social deduction game. Let try. It
Let
just
try
says let
space
try.
exclamation
Yeah,
point.
there's a space between try and the exclamation point.
What the hell?
Yeah, let's look at this screenshot here. People, murder.
Yeah, so you're seeing the 2 models
Hydroponics.
of the character models. Because the people listening to the podcast can't see this, but you see the character models, and above one it says people.
Oh, they can see it. I
The
actually
other it says murder.
switched this. I have switched the screen to show the Discord screen so everyone can see this beauty.
Good.
Thank you. Again, this looks like there's those mobile games where, like, you know, Agario. Well, there's those mobile games where it's like a different thing, where it's like you're either a group of people running around and collecting people and adding more people to your group of people. You know what I'm talking about? It's like you're running around as a mob of people, and you run into smaller mobs, and they become part of your number. There's another one where you're a giant hole, and you go around like letting buildings and people fall into the hole, and then your hole
Oh,
gets
yeah,
bigger
yeah,
and
yeah.
bigger. Those ones. So those games, one, completely fake. You're not playing online with anybody on those games. Two, they all use the same, like, again, open source mobile game maps of like the same city, the same like futuristic city, the same like island area. And this again looks like one of those. It looks a lot cheaper than the last one, but it looks like one of those like I feel like I've seen some of these props before, you know?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
there's probably a lot of open source Unity objects and assets that people use.
deaf people. God. Okay, let me just sort of scroll on down. Uh about this game. A person impersonating a member of an underground research institute with the aim of destroying all members of the research team. You will choose between becoming a member of team or imposter. As a member, find and
Member
detect the
of
fake with the
team.
clues provided by the members. As an imposter, find the opportunity and destroy all members to win. Piopel.
Yeah, PEOPEL space colon.
Win by finding the imposter, space period. Vote those with suspicious behavior to find out the imposter.
Period
Complete
without a
all
space.
quests to win. Murder, space colon. Kill another people to win game. Use destructive tricks to cause chaos and split the crew. Destroy the system to cause chaos to find opportunities to kill others. You will win when only have you and one person survive.
I'm
No features. Not recommended.
what was the name of the game with all your base are belong to us?
Oh, that was it Zero Wing?
Yes, I think that was it. Yeah.
Janine game. Only one game.
I'm getting some real strong Zero Wing vibes here.
Oh, for sure. Janine Studio. Watch this animation
Hold
of
on.
like the kill animation.
David saying, have y'all talked about Imposter Island?
Imposter Island.
What?
Oh, there goes my foil ball. Oh well, I misspelled imposter.
Rest in
Do
peace.
that. Oh no. Oh no.
Why is the R adorable and an otter? Oh,
What
that's
is this?
what?
Collaborate
Race
with
to repair
four
your ship.
Collaborate with 4 to 15 player online to attempt to repair your pirate ship after being stranded on a tropical island. Work with your animal crewmates to craft the parts needed to repair your ship. Imposter Island is a game of social deception and survival.
Like at least I'm going to give them points here for they're taking the social deduction games have happened
Oh, for sure.
long before. What is the release date of this?
This one is coming
Oh, it's
up.
not out yet. January 31st,
No.
2021.
There's a crafting element.
Yeah, so
Now
they
I
they
wouldn't call this one a like a rip off or knockoff
yeah,
because
they're
it's
actually
got
doing stuff here.
yeah.
It's weird seeing adorable like giant-headed chibi animals, but they're running around a a tropical island that's actually colorful and has good nature assets. Um, like they mentioned crafting, they're collecting stuff that it doesn't seem like normal tasks. So, uh,
Wonder Factory.
this
Only game.
I would not be surprised in the least if they changed the title of the game to be Imposter, like I said, to help with the search algorithm.
What if
But
I just
I
searched
could believe
imposter
that this
though?
game has been in development since before Among Us hit its spike.
Gotham City imposters. Oh, but that is something that I just wanted to bring up to somebody again was there's a bunch of real bad looking Among
Yep, you
Us
you see it all the time. Just whenever something big comes up,
clones.
there's going to be the knockoffs, the counterfeiters.
All right, well I'm gonna cut the stream. There we go.
Well, thank you for sharing that.
That was a
Oh,
journey.
thank you for coming with me on that. Ugh.
All right. So one of the things that we did
Lord,
want to
Lord.
do tonight is just kind of skim over the more notable headlines from the past year.
Because there haven't really been many notable headlines this past week apart from, well, Cyberpunk 2077 is still an utter garbage fire and
Well, and
eh,
apparently today the news dropped that the lawsuits have begun.
oh yeah, well, because there was chatter of class action lawsuits happening. This is from investors, not from consumers. Um, uh, I do not know if they will necessarily go anywhere. Uh, like I certainly know that if there really isn't a possibility for a consumer class action lawsuit because they're offering full refunds. So plain and simple, that's there. Uh, these lawsuits, like I said, would be from the investors' side, in the sense that um, CD Projekt Red management misrepresented the game to the investors, and that's important because it means that they feel that the money that they gave to the company to back it for the production eh, was not used as they represented it to be used, and that the progress updates that they gave were not representative, and thus they were basically tricked into continuing to provide money here or make other financial decisions. So a it could be different since they're in Sweden. Where's CDPR based again?
I'm not entirely sure.
I'm blanking. I know it's Europe. I
Sweden sounds
can somebody
right.
Google that for me because after my Wi-Fi crashed, I'm now kind of skittish of
I'm looking
trying to
for
look.
it.
Yeah, I got it. I got it.
But anyways, I don't know
Poland,
if Poland. Thank you. I
Warsaw.
don't know if you know uh, legal requirements for what does and doesn't constitute fraud varies. So I don't know the Polish legal system. So I don't think it will necessarily come to anything. there might be like a settlement that happens, but then again, maybe there could be something from it. Regardless, it, there have been lots of botched releases before that. Think of Assassin's Creed Unity with, the missing face textures. Yeah, I find it very interesting that we've had plenty of releases that have been like this, and like the company in question would always have egg on their face. They'd have to do the updates, but we've never seen something to this scale where there have been full on refunds that it's been removed from stores. And I think it's due to a combination of the fact that this game in particular has been touted and anticipated for so long that, like, Assassin's Creed Unity, when it came out, was a really big game, that it was, the new Assassin's Creed game, so it had a big release and a fair amount of anticipation. But this was, lined up to be the game of the year. It spent 7 years or however long in development, so there was extra expectations there, but also, uh I guess I think it's a combination of scale and possibly this just being the straw that broke the camel's back of companies saying, "All right, we can't let this continue." Um, and I think it's something that the general public will not be able to clearly see the ripple effects of, because a lot of it's going to be happening behind the doors of just publishers and developers, of just certain decisions are going to be made, and games will probably be pushed a bit more liberally in the future to avoid things like this.
Yeah.
Um, but at this point, it is. I want to revisit this in a year's time to see if we still look back on this as considering it as big as it is now. That will we look on it like, all right, it was a bigger version of Assassin's Creed Unity, or is this going to be like an ET type of monumental moment in the industry's history? Because there is a possibility that, you know, Cyberpunk 2077 becomes that sort of ubiquitous line of, if you ever want to insult a developer and say that they messed up, to reference this game.
Speaking of like misrepresenting the game, and specifically the lengths that CD Projekt Red went to hide all of the major problems with the game on now last gen consoles. According to an article on MSN, um, when things got worse, when word got out that the developer had purposefully hidden performance on older consoles by refusing requests for review keys on those platforms, and even on PC reviewers who were not allowed to use their own captured video and instead were forced to sign NDAs, non disclosure agreement, if they wanted to access the review codes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that's the other thing,
Knew.
that this is
it's
now the fact that things are coming out and that it's looking not just like a botch job, but also a cover up.
Yes,
no
like
kidding.
they knew well before release that there were problems, and rather than do the
Delay
honorable
for
thing
another
and
time.
own up to it, they went out of their way to hide it. And god damn it, they are paying the price for it now.
Yeah, and the thing is, there's gonna be an amount of talk of people saying, "Oh, this is the consumer's fault because people absolutely blew up on them over the summer when they announced that they were delaying from August," and it's absolutely true. But in the end, it is the developer's decision of go or no go. Um, eh, I sympathize with the community managers at CD Projekt Red, and even
Oh
now, like
no.
the
Yeah,
community
for
team,
sure.
just like they're in the worst position because the community team had literal zero that they could do about this. They aren't even on that. They literally aren't the development team. They work for the company and are on the team, but they physically couldn't have done anything to change this, and they're the
Right.
ones that are going to be taking the brunt of it. So, as always, be kind to community managers.
Absolutely.
I really
Yeah,
would like to revisit
it's
this, like in a year's time, just to
yeah,
see.
and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we get a documentary of this in a couple of years.
I mean, G4
Well,
TV. I mean, G4 TV is back, so like, they could easily do a documentary special on G4 TV over this. Like, I would love to see that.
well, if you do either of you remember the Let's Play group, Super Best Friends?
I know the name. I
Not
never
They're
off the
really
top of my
followed
head,
sadly
no.
them.
Matt, Pat, Wooly. They're sadly not together as like a single unit anymore. But I know Wooly still does stuff. Pat still does stuff. Matt, on the YouTube channel Matt McMuscles, he has a series called What Happened, where he, starting with video games at first, he would take a look at just like bafflingly, uh, like out there stories of how a bad video game ended up happening. And then it became about movies and just pretty much anything else, any other media for right now. Like he's got one about the Super Mario Brothers movie. Like, how did that turn out the way it did? LA Noir, how did that turn out the way it did? Like LA Noir is fine, but it certainly had a weird release and definitely a weirder development cycle. Um, so I think that's like we're definitely gonna see a what happened on Cyberpunk 2077. That's for sure.
I would love to see that if that ever does come to fruition. I will
I'll link
absolutely
it to
watch
you
that.
if it comes out.
But
But
some of the other headlines that came out this year, of course, we had the industry shocker of Microsoft purchasing Bethesda and ZeniMax, and with it several other different studios and IPs, all for the low price of $7.5 billion.
God, ZeniMax just sounds like a dead video format.
You're not wrong. You're not
I
wrong.
hadn't
Like
thought about that
I
until
think my
now.
great uncle had some ZeniMax tapes in his basement.
Yeah, speaking of knockoffs, yeah, that was your off-brand Betamax. There you go. But yeah, the we still do not have any sort of clear indicator of if or how this will really change anything. I still stand by my previous statement from the episode after the announcement where I said I don't think that this will meaningfully alter the course of Bethesda software. Is very much just an acquisition for financial reasons that Bethesda Softworks is profitable, and they believe that paying 7.5 billion now it will be less than the amount of money that the company generates over the long term.
I don't
Also,
think
for a couple things of scale, uh, Minecraft was purchased for $2 billion some 5 years ago now,
hmm,
and all of LucasArts, but most importantly, let's just say Star Wars was purchased by Disney for $4 billion. This is almost four times my of Minecraft, which isn't surprising because that was $2 billion for a single game, which is even now staggering. But the fact that this is twice as much almost as Star Wars, and I firmly believe that Star Wars is a more profitable, uh, property slash company than Bethesda Softworks. Maybe that's wrong of me. I don't know, but
I
that's a
just
lot of money. $7.5 billion is a lot of money.
I mean, Microsoft didn't have to try that hard to get Skyrim on the new Xbox. It was gonna happen anyway.
Yeah, that's
Todd
Todd
lying.
Todd Howard will find a
Todd's
way.
gonna you won't even know it, but Todd will sneak Skyrim into your system.
It will be everywhere.
It's the just again looking at the article from MSN. They by doing so, they picked up several new studios and their huge franchises, and instantly improved the value of Game Pass. That was really one of the biggest selling points for
Yeah.
consumers on this. Was Xbox Game Pass just became a lot more valuable with that acquisition.
Yeah.
Um,
And
For
the other
sure.
thing that I'd also mentioned back when was, uh, this is a lot of studios, like that article mentioned, that it's not just Bethesda, that ZeniMax
Oh no.
comprises, I believe it was 7 studios, and the fact that it, that infrastructure, though that uh, human capital and knowledge in the sense of just like now there could be a really, really good systems engineer at id that might be interested in now transferring to a different branch of Microsoft, or just a the systems and technology, the back end things and tools that they've built are now something that Microsoft can use, that there is a lot of value that people don't really think of underneath the surface that companies have beyond their IPs, in terms of just, if they have really good people, that's something that companies want, or if they have proprietary tools that those things that can then get applied across a company as vast as Microsoft, that if there's one tool that somehow improves productivity 2%. And if that can be applied across, you know, 50% of Microsoft's workforce because of just, some common shared task or whatever, that's massive. That's almost incomprehensible in terms of value. And that can come along with these types of acquisitions. The public generally will never actually know it, but these are the types of things that uh, when companies are looking to buy, get the information for and about. Business, business, business numbers. Is this working?
Oh, for sure.
um, some more stuff on the business end of things. Oh yeah, also whoever wrote this MSN article did take one cheap shot at Microsoft at the end of that little tidbit. They said all that's left now is to figure out the confusion about console exclusivity. But that's a story for another day. Moving on, we had Microsoft shut down Mixer, their streaming platform that they launched to compete with Twitch, and they have now shut it down and have instead partnered with Facebook to bring us Facebook Gaming. No, thank you.
Unsurprising, in
You
my
think
opinion.
you think people are missing Mixer right now with all the
No.
DMCA
Oh,
bull
well.
crap going
Well,
on
no, because
Twitch?
the thing is, the DMCAs would be going up on Mixer as well. They would
No.
absolutely be going up on Mixer as well.
Unless
Unless
here's the thing. Hear me out. Unless Mixer, because they're backed by Microsoft, I think they are the single largest tech company in the world, and so they'd have the money to do this. They would have had the foresight to actually work out licenses with those studios to prevent DMCA from happening in the first place. Because that's the reason.
They certainly didn't have anything in place when they shut down less than 12 months ago.
No,
they
no,
had
That
Ninja.
you're right.
My favorite
this
red versus
is
blue character, Ninja.
Ninja made out like a bandit. Good lord.
I,
'Cause
I
he
don't
he
I don't
kept
even
all that
want
money. He kept all that money, and now he just gets to go back to Twitch. Like, just what a day!
like
What a
nothing
day!
ever happened.
I'll admit, I don't know a lot about Ninja. I've seen a couple clips of him. I think I've seen one interview. He seems like a cool guy, and honestly, if I were in his position, that if somebody wants to buy your exclusivity for that much money, I don't blame him for taking the cash. But gosh, like finding out that Mixer went under, that's like winning the lottery for him, because then that's not having your cake and eating it too. That's having your cake and then getting, like 2 more cakes and getting to take them to go. Just
That's up there with Tom from MySpace, who like sold MySpace to whatever company owns it now because it still exists, and no one has heard from him ever again. He got
good
a
for
lot
him.
of money
Good for
and
him.
he's pieced out.
Yeah, what Joel said. Good on him.
Rode off into the sunset.
Um, I have nothing to add to this, but I figured it was worth mentioning. It's on the list. Doctor Disrespect getting banned from Twitch. That's still a fucking mystery as to what
It's
went down
litigation.
there.
There's something legal going on, which is why literally no one has spoken about it, because there are some hardcore NDAs going on in the back end. Everything points to some sort of lawsuit. It will probably all come out very quickly and without warning whenever it gets resolved. But the reason that there has been no leak has to be because there's litigation going on.
Oh, for
For
sure.
sure.
I'm just like it's still gonna keep me wondering because like that was completely out of the blue.
Yeah, we'll
No
find out. And
warning.
just unfortunately, I get the feeling that when it all comes out, eh, that Doctor Disrespect is not going to be remembered as fondly.
We'll just have to wait and see. Um, let's see. This one, we haven't talked about this one on the podcast, but what MSN is claiming to be easily the biggest story of the year. That is a bold claim. It's the battle between Epic Games and Apple. Epic Games being the studio behind Fortnite. Says here, the company that brought Fortnite and the Unreal Engine to the world of Fortnite is deeply entrenched in a legal battle with. They go off on a. They take a shot at Apple here. They're in a legal battle with Apple, all under the guise of consumer rights. Fortnite took a stand against the Apple ecosystem by bypassing its payment system, which saw Apple promptly ban Fortnite from its platform.
Yeah, because basically, Apple said if just any company that distributes on our platform, you have to give us a cut of the money that you get, and because that's how Apple makes their money from apps, that they get a cut, just like eBay takes a cut out of every sale. It's the exact same concept going on here, and Epic basically went through their own thing and said, "All right, if you make the purchase through our system here, then we don't need to pay that cut to Apple." And Apple was like, "No, no, you
Stop
don't get
it.
to do that."
Stop it. Yeah, this
So,
is very much a I'm not cheering for anybody to win situation because both are, you know, existentially terrifying tech giants, but like it's funny to watch.
and the thing is, I'm actually going to agree with MSN here that just because of the implications of the ruling on this case and what it can do to the Apple ecosystem and what it could potentially represent in terms of ripple effects of like if if Epic gets the clearance here, I think Apple's going to win this case. I very much think Apple's going to win this case. I haven't been keeping track of it actively, so Taylor, I take it the article you're reading is a recent one, so litigation is still ongoing.
It looks like it. Let me actually pull. Let me see when this was posted. This was posted yesterday.
Yeah.
So
Okay. So, because the thing is, if Epic somehow wins and the courts say it's fine that they did this and Apple doesn't have the right to remove them from their platform because this is not a breach, well, first off, Apple's going to rewrite their stuff to make it a breach, probably. Um, but if not, that just means that then every other company is going to put in a similar backend system to bypass it. And that then does this open up the gates to allow companies to try and do the same thing on Android and bypass their things? It just, uh, plus it's Apple's platform. Uh, Generally speaking, uh, if you own if you own the space, you're allowed to pretty much do what you want with relative impunity. So I really can't see Epic winning, but eh, because of repercussions and like I said, I haven't read up on this recently, so there might be more things at play than I remember. But when you have this type of legal battle, it's because there's ramifications on how the industry will operate going forward on a macro scale, depending on how this ends. So I will actually say that it is actually bigger than the other things. That it's it's the least flashy from a consumer standpoint, but it is actually the most meaningful.
I can see that. And also, it's weird. Because as a Twitch streamer, in a weird way, I can kind of relate to Apple in this situation because, like specifically because Twitch terms of service strictly state that I, as a streamer and the owner of this channel, can time out or ban any user in my chat for any reason
Whatever
I
you
see
want.
fit, for whatever I want. And in my case, it's as long as you're following the rules, you can stay in my chat, you can hang out. But for instance, if I said like, hey, you know what? Actually,
if
did
someone
like,
comments and it's someone you know from outside that you don't like and you just don't want them in your chat, they don't need to break a rule. You can just ban them outright, and there's nothing they can do about it.
oh,
It's like
exactly.
how
My lawn.
It's like how a business can refuse service to anybody for any reason. And especially these days, that rule has been brought up for folks who try to shop at a place without wearing a mask. As
Wear
well
your
it should
mask,
be.
people.
Wear your masks.
Yeah, just a yeah. It's. I'm guessing there's more at play than what I've read up on, because it there it can't be this cut and dry if it's going to this degree of litigation where both companies actually think they have a chance of winning.
Oh yeah.
But there's a lot of legalese here at play, and yeah, we'll find out what happens next time.
God, that's still. It's just hitting me again that these are like news stories from this year, but especially the Epic versus Apple thing. Like that was
That was
this
only in
year.
June. That was not that long ago.
No, but boy, does it feel like it.
I say again, 2020 has been both simultaneously the longest and shortest year of my life. And I think that can
Yes.
be said by a lot of people.
Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
I blame Barry Allen.
I blame Christopher Nolan.
I don't
And
know
when-
who to blame right now. Ask me again
and
later. I'm sure
whatever
I'll think of
Tenet
something
is
witty.
about.
All right, well, that's pretty much everything that I had.
Yeah, we'll just, I guess, there's been a lot of stuff, and well, one thing is we had the announcement and the rollout of a new console generation.
Yeah,
It,
yeah.
it was only this year that we got the proper unveiling of the Xbox Series X and PS5, and the launches, which both of which have gone relatively smoothly. That yes, there's been supply side issues for PS5, but we saw that with the Wii, we saw that with the Switch. This isn't anything new. There's been a bit of kerfuffle with bots, but that's being taken care of, and in a matter of months, there will be more on the shelves, and it'll probably be difficult to get your hands on for a while. But in terms of actual performance, both rollouts went pretty smoothly. There's not been reports of, massive defects or just consoles bricking. It's actually been pretty impressive in that regard.
Yeah, all things considered,
Just
the
how
launch the launch for both
uneventful.
consoles went really, really well.
Yeah, and consoles being sought after and sold out at launch is nothing new. We've seen it even at this degree before. Just remember the Wii. Remember what it was like for the Wii. It was insane, and for the PS3 even, because the PS3 had production issues where there was supposed to be 1 million units on launch day, and then like a month or two before they said it was only going to be 500,000, and then a week or two before they said it was 137,000 units on launch day, and a percentage of those bricked. So the PS3 actually had a very rocky launch, and for it to just be, unit numbers this time around, Nintendo's seen that before, goodness knows, and
Oh yeah.
nobody really begrudges them for it. And uh, well, hey, they even play Cyberpunk 2077 well, which is now something that you can state as an impressive feat.
God, our PlayStation 5s with Cyberpunk 2077 downloaded going up on eBay like PS3s that had PT downloaded.
Oh my god.
Hold on.
Oh,
Actually, I'm going to
gosh.
look and see.
Now, one other thing, just sort of holistically that I was thinking about for this is while people were really, oohing and eyeing over the specs of both machines because from a technical hardware standpoint, they're both very impressive. I feel that this is the most mundane console generation from a
Oh
pure
my God, it is.
functionality and um, iterative standpoint. That yes, the stuff under the hood is much, much, much more powerful. But as a very average gamer who can't tell the difference in raw computing power and can't really appreciate all the numbers and specs, and just over the past 2 decades, it used to be a huge thing when a console was first unveiled to see the iterative improvement in graphic performance of just, all right, how many polygons are we dealing with here? Because it was, going from 2D to 3D with the N64, and then, all right, how smooth were you able to get things on, Xbox, and the fact that Halo actually they looked like real people, and then the jump from Xbox to 360 of just uh, how much smoother and shinier everything was, and from 360 to Xbox One and PS 3 to 4, we saw a marked decrease in just what the gap was in terms of visual fidelity. You can always have these side by sides that show, all right, this is a PS3 versus a PS4 and a PS4 versus a PS5. And if you look at them side by side, you can tell there's a difference. But if you're just staring at it with the naked eye, you say this is very, very high quality. But it's not the holy cow, I can tell the difference at a glance, staggering. And it's not a difference of functionality where just internet capabilities, or the PS4, I believe, was uh, streaming equipped just as part of its native software that you could push a button and you'd be streaming. That wasn't a thing on the PS3. Um, in terms of just features and functionalities, I can't really think of anything new on the PS5 and Xbox Series X that wasn't present in the previous generation. And I think that's a first, just in terms of console generations as a whole, that we've reached a not necessarily an apex or just a stopping point, but
The
the
the slope is lessening.
yes, thank you. That is a great phrase right there.
That's so what I will say is that these two consoles, like I haven't really talked too much about the new generation of consoles, but what I will commend them for, and I'll have joked about and criticized, but I'm going to commend both Microsoft and Sony for bringing us back to just weird designs. Just let's just make it weird. It doesn't have to be a black or gray box anymore. Just yeah, make it a weird swoopy white thing. Yeah, make it
That's
a
taking a page out of Nintendo's, book, honestly, of just
oh, for
do
sure.
something bold, make it iconic, make it something recognizable, make it something that you look at and you know that's a PS5 or you know that's an Xbox Series X.
Just don't do a Wii U
The Wii U's problem wasn't in its design, it was in its naming
and
and its
marketing for
game
the most part.
library.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't the console thing, it was everything but the console.
I had a Wii U. I loved it.
Oh, yeah, it was a fine thing, but just, like you said, marketing, the naming, it's sort of weird. Why is it that from Xbox to Xbox 360, not a problem, but Wii to Wii U, for some reason, just didn't work, and I think the larger part of it was a tough console to develop for,
Yeah.
and its library was just not very good. Um, but obviously, Nintendo has, certainly bounced back with the Switch.
Man, Sony's the only one with consistency in the naming department.
Yeah,
We
no,
talked
I
about
saw
that.
we
Oh,
did, yeah.
sure.
I said that somebody is owed royalties of whoever it was in the meeting that said, "Let's just call it the PS2." That whoever that person was is owed just back royalties in terms of everything for how easy it is.
No kidding.
Meanwhile,
I
some
think
people still don't know the difference between the Xbox One X and the Xbox Series X. as made evident
And I
by
wouldn't
reported
blame
sales on
them.
Amazon.
And the Xbox One, isn't that just the first Xbox? I think we just need to regress. What I think it's the Odyssey that was a game that it didn't really have games. It was you move a dot around your screen and you put semi-transparent stickers over
Yeah, I
your
remember that.
TV
Sorry,
screen.
sorry. I don't remember that. I remember reading about that. I took a course in college that was psychology of video games, and there was a unit where we went through the history. It included that.
So it wasn't so
Yeah.
much I'm going to play a maze game. It was I'm going to put this maze on my TV and move this dot light under the maze. Yeah, I think we need to regress.
Stop, we've gone too far.
Roll it
So
back,
I
roll it
have
back. It's like
I have found it. This can't be real. Which is a shame. I wish we lived in a more magical world, but uh Sony PS5 digital edition console, Cyberpunk 2077 downloaded. Plus more, read info. This is on eBay, price $20,000.
Oh my. Yeah, it's gonna be a collector's item.
Yeah, and the picture is just a stock image of the PS5. So this is a fake listing, but like God.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like as far as like we need to regress, it's like that freaking meme. It's like thing, upgrade, new thing, fuck, go back.
Sony just removed Cyberpunk 2077 from the PlayStation Store. This console has the game and many others downloaded, like Demon Souls and Miles Morales. This PS5 digital is very exclusive right now.
Oh my god.
Oh, Boise, Idaho.
Nothing good happens in Boise, Idaho.
That's just
Speaking from
like
experience,
instead of oh boy, it's just something that like I end up saying instead. Oh, Boise, Idaho.
well, I'm out of material.
It's weird. Like it's been such a crazy year for everything, and just from a financial standpoint, the game industry has unsurprisingly boomed in the past 9 months. That um, obviously comparing game revenue to sports and film revenue right now, obviously has shot well and above and beyond. But it's it's at the point where it's not just because sports and film revenue are at effective zero right now, but just the gaming industry naturally grows year over year, and there had been projections of, uh, you know, gaming industry hitting $3 billion in revenue by I think it was like 2024 or five or something, and it's on track to beat projections in terms of just how much the industry has grown in terms of revenue over the past 9 months. Because, well, if people are stuck at home, gonna play games, and people have done that, and just gaming has, while some people look at a console and say that's $500, gaming has always been one of the most economical pastimes available in entertainment. You pay $10 to $15 for 3 hours of entertainment on a movie ticket. So extrapolate that out. Um, you know, how many movies do you need to see to spend the equivalent of a console? And how many hours do you get out of a console? It just, yeah, $500 is not a small amount of money, but if you consider, all right, am I getting $1 an hour in terms? It, most people are going to be playing those consoles well over 500 hours. So when you really break it down and just, how much am I paying for time spent on a game and on a console? Gaming is and has always been just one of the most efficient and economical ways to entertain yourself. And people are finding that more and more. And especially in this era of things being quote unquote free to play, uh, it's even easier to, if you really don't want to spend or don't have the ability to spend, that you don't have to and you can still be playing. And yeah, gaming no one can question it, and it's been past the point of being questioned for a bit now. But just e- I think that even when sports and movies come back, that gaming will remain beyond them both in terms of revenue. And it's something that has been impending for a while, but the schedule got moved up this year.
No kidding.
David saying Nintendo was the real champ of 2020 gaming, brought Among Us to consoles, released Animal Crossing at the most fucking perfect time, and introduced the concept of functional and good Pokemon DLC. We talked about Animal Crossing and the timing of that release.
They knew. They
Um,
knew
Well,
what was
because
going to happen.
remember, Cam, Animal Crossing was supposed to release in October
Yep.
19, got
Yes.
delayed,
Yes. They knew.
and
They knew it was going to be needed. Maybe they didn't know specifically
it,
why or what was going to
there
actually
was a
happen.
sign from above that was just like, wait, it needs it would
We have to do it
like you
later.
said, it is needed then, and goodness knows that I'll do a bit of a spoiler. Uh, so Digital Era Entertainment, the group that I do some streaming with, and that both of you have been on the radio dramas with,
Never heard of
does
it.
a annual Game of the Year video, which is going to be dropping in 7 minutes time as of time of recording. Um, they took a long, hard look at everything that was on the table this year for Game of the Year, and they went against their normal trend of how they came to their decision and how they awarded the game. That usually their thinking has been just, what is the best game released this year? Like, what is the what's the best game? And this year, the group sort of changed their definition, that this has been such a strange year in every way, that they asked not only what was the best game, but also what will be remembered from this year. What is not the best game of 2020, but what is the game of 2020? And they ultimately came to a realization that they couldn't award it to one. So Digital Era Entertainment's Game of the Year award goes to the 2020 Survival Pack of Animal Crossing New Horizons, Among Us, and Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout. These
Oh,
three
for sure.
games undeniably brought people together, were played in streamed and shared in ways that went above and beyond anything that Ghost of Tsushima or Last of Us Part 2 or Doom Eternal had. That even if those games might be, like, as a game technically superior, it, if you ask someone about 2020, 5, 10, 15 years from now, it, like, what did they play this year? It's probably gonna be those three games that are mentioned: Animal Crossing, Fall Guys, and Among Us,
Mhm.
and just what they represented for bringing people together, and how each in very different ways. Because Animal Crossing was just a calm, centering thing in the beginning where everything was very unsettling and allowed people to be physically close in a virtual sense when we were still acclimating to social distancing. uh, Among Us, it just hit the scene and blew up in a mind-boggling way, and made for some of the best streaming moments that we are still now seeing. Like, politicians at AOC now holds the record for second most viewed stream in Twitch history when she was streaming Among Us. And then Fall Guys from Devolver Digital, which has been established and known for publishing good indie games, just comes out of nowhere with this premium experience, high quality. Just, we've had battle royale games, but this one was different. This one was fun, was kooky, and it didn't have combat, and it had just so many creative modes and a visual style all its own, which is continuing to hold a high bar as it does its updates, and it's now in season 3. And those I very much agree. I was not actually part of the panel at Digital Era Entertainment that voted on this, but when I was told that this was the result, I was like, yeah, I agree with that. So
Well,
we'll call that my rant for today / rant.
for the last time in 2020. Also, you heard it here first, folks. Breaking news on the LAN Party podcast. Or I guess, would that be our first exclusive?
Yeah, well, I would say it's an exclusive because it's still not. I'm not under NDA technically, and Mario will forgive me for spilling the beans 7 minutes early.
LAN Party podcast exclusive. Managed to get one in before the year ran out.
There we go.
All right. Well, we are sitting at an hour 20 for the stream. Any final thoughts before we sign off?
You guys ever do any Christmas events in games? Like an online game?
Dungeon Boss had an annual one that I oversaw and tested for however many years. So yes,
Nice.
but also Animal Crossing. I played the Toy Day event just today.
Oh yeah.
I feel like I feel like I have at some point in some game I've done one. I just cannot for the life of me remember what that game would have been.
Always loved doing the Christmas events in RuneScape. Those were always
wow! I
a
never actually
delight.
played those, but I remember seeing people running around with the Santa outfits at other times of the year.
Yeah, Santa hats, party hats, little toy marionettes you could play with. Those were always nice.
I am still
Just a joy.
blown away by the fact that RuneScape is not dead yet.
Still exists. Still going strong. Well, still exists.
It's still going.
It's still
It's actually
it's
funny.
it's
RuneScape,
there.
Well, it's funny is RuneScape.
They had a new expansion this year.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is it's still it's going more strongly in the side game because there's RuneScape, which is the same RuneScape that's been going since like 2001, 2002. Well, technically no, because like 2003 is when it's the same ones that's been going since like 2003. But not everybody's happy with the directions it's gone in and with all the updates that have come to it and the way like combat has changed and stuff. So in 20 god, I want to say like 2014, they released a version of RuneScape based off of a a model they still had from 2006 called old school RuneScape, and that one's still going, and it's going uh stronger than the base game, and that's just funny to me.
World of Warcraft Classic, right?
Pretty much.
All right. Well, I guess I do have just one final announcement before we sign off for the year. If you are a member of the Rooster Teeth Dallas Fort Worth community, you have already caught wind of this. If you have not, our Extra Life campaign is still ongoing, will be through the end of the year. We have already had our big 24-hour gaming live stream on Community Game Day, and a massive thank you to everyone who came out for that and everyone who donated. You are all so amazing. I had a spur of the moment idea. I decided, you know what? We're not done yet. So this Sunday, December 27th, from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, you can catch me, Joel, and various other members of the RTDFW community. Huh?
And
you Andy, I wasn't sure exactly what.
Yet. Taylor didn't want to volunteer you.
Me, Joel, other people.
I wasn't sure what all segments you would be there for. Joel and I are going to be there for the whole damn thing.
It's my birthday. I got nothing else going on. I'm
okay,
gonna do
me,
it.
Joel, and Cam, and others.
No, too late.
We're doing another 12-hour Extra Life stream. It's going to be chaos. It's going to be epic. It's going to be incredible. Twitch.tv/RTDFW this Sunday, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. I believe we like the current working title is Extra Life 2 Electric Boogaloo. We're thinking about doing something a little bit more holiday themed, but we got 3 days to figure that out, so I'm not worried about it.
Did you say epic?
I did. Got a problem with that?
Nah.
That's what I thought. Anyway, guys, that is going to do it for us for this episode and for this year. The last official episode of the LAN Party Podcast. I say the last official because tune into the RTDFW stream from 5 to 7. And there may or may not be a little takeover happening. We'll see. But thank you to everyone for tuning in. Cam, Joel, thank you so much for joining me on this show and on this wonderful journey. And with that...
Is there an imposter inside us, though? Is there?
Always.
I am the killer inside among me.
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and Happy New Year to everyone. Thank you for watching the LAN Party Podcast. We will see you next time.
2020.
Keep an eye on my Twitter for when the next one happens, and we'll see you then. Yeah, fuck 2020.
Yeah, don't let the door hit you on the way out. Actually, no, let the door hit you on the way out.
Please.
Door, hit him.
With all
Hit
of the force.
2020.
Night, guys.
Bye.